coming up tonight. While players are exiting, new head coach Paris is trying to fill his roster.
Meanwhile, the U.S men's soccer team can finally return to the World Cup.
And finally, the women's basketball team weren't the only ones battling it out in Greensboro.
These stories and more tonight on Palmetto State Sports. From the Blue Ridge Mountains and through the Midlands down to the coast, there's plenty of sports highlights and moments here in South Carolina. There's only one place where you'll catch all the action. This is Palmetto State Sports.
Welcome into Palmetto State Sports. I'm Brianna Walton.
And I'm Kronsberg. Thank you for joining us tonight. The Lamont Paris era in Columbia will be starting even further behind than originally thought, thanks to a quintet of transfers.
After guards Eric Stevenson and Jermaine Kuzner hit the portal at the end of last week, for Taquan Woodley and Wildens Leveque, as well as guard Devin Carter, also follow suit.
Woodley, the number 4 high schooler in New Jersey a year ago, played in 28 contests and averaged about 2 points and 3 rebounds per contest in his debut season with the Gamecocks, while fellow freshman Carter made 7 starts on the season, finished 4th on the team with 9 points per game.
Leveque, on the other hand, started 28 out of the Gamecocks' 29 games this season and has 51 starts in 80 games over his 3 years career in Columbia. Earlier this week, Paris visited Ridgeview High School to meet with 5-star recruit J.J. Jackson.
During this visit, Paris laid out his vision for the program and how Jackson would fit into it.
Jackson told the state that they were expecting to make a college decision before the AAU circuit on April the 8th, but after meeting with Coach Paris, his father, Greg Jackson, said when Coach came in and made his pitch, the family might say, let's sit down and be patient with this and see what Coach Paris and his staff has to offer us as a basketball player, end quote.
South Carolina will be relying on another predominantly fresh roster when they tip off their first season under the new Paris administration.
The Gamecocks women's basketball team just boarded their flight to Minneapolis, and earlier today, Coach Dawn Staley spoke about the upcoming battles ahead of them. Check it out.
We're just going to play the game. Like, you know, I think a lot of people have questioned our offense throughout the tournament. And and it just seems to be our team that's been targeted about what our offense is doing. And, you know, no other team has been targeted in the way that our team has. We're playing good basketball, you know, whether our shooting percentage is.
The Gamecocks will play Louisville Friday at 7 p.m. And just like last week, we'll be sending reporters to the Final Four, so stay tuned. And another whirlwind weekend in Gamecock baseball has come and gone. After getting swept by Tennessee and then walked off by the Citadel, the Gamecocks return home to face number 4 Vanderbilt.
The heavily favored Commodores took down the Gamecocks 10-0 on Thursday night behind a masterful start by Chris McVane.
But South Carolina answered back in surprising fashion, taking down Vanderbilt 8-2 on Friday, 8-6 on Saturday, with starting pitchers Will Sanders and Matthew Becker going deep into both games, much to the appreciation of Coach Mark Kingston.
And so to see them get the results of what we got this weekend, just very, very happy for that group. They've stayed together, they've been fighting, and they deserve that weekend series. Vanderbilt's a great team, top 5 team, had won 17 in a row and beat us 10-0 on Friday. So again, for the guys to have that kind of resolve and do what they did, a special weekend for us.
The jump started Gamecocks host Presbyterian tonight before hitting the road to the other Columbia to face Missouri over the weekend. Welcome back. Outside of the Carolinas, a look into the pros. SGTV News 4 sports reporter Spencer Ball is here to break down the NBA postseason race so far. Spencer?
Thanks, Brianna. New vaccine mandates in New York have allowed one of the most talented players in the NBA to resume playing games at the Barclays Center. Kyrie Irving played in his first home game of the season this past Sunday as the Nets played host to the Charlotte Hornets. Although the fans welcomed him loudly, Kyrie put up a quiet 16 points and 11 assists with a poor 27% field goal percentage. More importantly, the Nets ended up falling to a Hornets team who are now only a half game back from the 8th seed in the East. The Eastern Conference race at the top of the standings is really coming down to the wire as 4 teams are in the running for first place. The Heat are currently in first, but the 76ers, Bucks, and Celtics are all tied in second place, only 1 game back of Miami. With less than 2 weeks left in the season, we'll see how it all shapes up. Moving on to the pitch now, The U.S. men's soccer team has a chance to qualify for the World Cup for the first time since 2014. Pulisic and the rest of the squad defeated Panama 5-1 on Sunday and have a chance to qualify tomorrow against Costa Rica. However, Costa Rica would need a gargantuan 6-goal victory to take the American spot in the 2022 World Cup. In their last World Cup appearance in 2014, the U.S. made it to the round of 16 but fell to a strong Belgium team. Christian Pulisic has easily been the best player on the team this season and will look to lead the U.S. to new heights on the international stage. Catch the action on Paramount Plus at 9:05 tomorrow night. And after the break, find out all about the other events that happened at the Greensboro region.
Welcome back. I'm Courtney Hollmon. Last weekend was an exciting week for Gamecock fans, or FAMS, as Don Staley calls them. The Gamecocks played the Sweet 16 and the Elite 8 in Greensboro, North Carolina, and of course, because we are Gamecock fans, we are loyal to our team, many made the trip down to see the team cut the net. Greensboro was nothing short of fan activities for all fans to participate in, but perhaps the most interesting event came during the Sunday halftime show where the mascot had a dance battle. Yes, our very own Cocky took on the Creighton Blue Jay in this intense battle. Although the Creighton Blue Jay did take home the win, it just goes to show that I guess we can't all be as skilled of a dancer as Aaliyah Boston. And many fans will travel to Minneapolis to cheer on the ladies, and I'm absolutely certain the festivities up there will be even more exciting.
I know Aaliyah Boston was playing and she had a really good game both days over the weekend, but why couldn't we have just sent her out there at halftime?
I don't know. You know, the entire women's basketball team were pretty skilled dancers.
Look, nothing against Creighton's basketball team, but at least they got one win on the weekend. That's all I'm going to say.
I'm not going to knock their Blue Jay now. Their Blue Jay, they did show Cocky up. Did a little break dancing thing. I was there and I was like, well, great job, Cocky.
So here's the question. At the Final Four, they got the Louisville Cardinals. That's
right.
In the Final Four, and then if we get to the championship game, it'll either be those pesky UConn Huskies or the Stanford Cardinal, which is not a cardinal like Louisville. I think it's a tree.
It's a tree.
So can Cocky outdo a tree?
I hope Cocky can outdo a tree.
Cocky can outdo a tree.
Cocky can outdo a tree. Coming up after the break, a look into your Palmetto sports calendar. Stay tuned.
Before we go, let's take a look at the Palmetto State calendar.
Cue the Bee Gees music because the two basketball teams in Palmetto State are staying alive on their title quests. First, we have the Basketball Classic Championship game Thursday night at 7 p.m. when Coastal Carolina takes on Fresno State.
On Friday, Don Staley will lead the Gamecocks women's basketball team into their fourth ever Final Four when they take on Louisville, also at 7 o'clock.
And on the softball side, we have another Carolina-Clemson game on our hands as Gamecocks and Tigers square off on Wednesday in Clemson.
Clemson softball then hit the road for a weekend set against North Carolina, while their baseball team visits Winthrop tonight and play host to NC State on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
And for the Chanticleers of Coastal Carolina, it's a week on the road. Softball just wrapped up a quick Tuesday doubleheader at Winthrop, and then they'll visit South Alabama to end the week, while baseball has Wake Forest tomorrow and a trip to Arkansas State Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Wrapping things up on the diamond, both Gamecock teams are in Columbia, Missouri, Friday through Sunday. First baseball has a Presbyterian tonight, followed by softball at Clemson tomorrow.
And finally, in soccer, the Gamecock women's team has the week off, but the Coastal Carolina men head to UNC Wilmington on Friday.
That's all we have for tonight's edition of Palmetto State Sports.
Be sure to follow us on Twitter at SGTV Sports. To keep up with all of our content, be sure to also visit us online at sgtvonline.com. For SGTV News for Sports, I'm Will Kronsberg.
And I'm Brianna Walton. From all of us here at SGTV, have a great night, Carolina. Forever to thee.